Hey friends, so today I am cooking in the kitchen, again making another simple comfort food meal. This meal will be some chicken skewers, some bang bang chicken skewers, as well as some bang bang shrimp skewers. Again, making this in the comfort of my home while you can watch this in the comfort of your own home. With these skewers, I am making some rice pilaf. I will be using some jasmine rice as well as some chicken broth and some bell peppers, some shallots, as well as some mushrooms and some peas. These ingredients that I'm adding in there, of course, you can adjust it for your own taste palette, but you all get to see how to make it and adjust it to your own liking. So let's get started. Okay friends, so what we're gonna do is start off with some shrimp. Make sure they are peeled in the vein. You can keep the tails on. I am using some seasoning that I got while I was on vacation, but I will have the link to this inside of the video description, but you just want to use any type of seafood seasoning. I am going to also add some olive oil to some chicken breast. Technically this is chicken tenderloin, so you can use chicken tenderloins or chicken breast. You want to add your favorite seasoning rub to it. I am using the Spanglish Asadero. I'll include a link to that in the video description also. So once you get your seasonings on, you want to get your sauce together. So this bang bang sauce includes a few ingredients, and you can use whatever type of mayo that you like, but use some sriracha as well as some sweet chili sauce. And you're going to add that all into a bowl, and you want to make sure you add some honey too. So I'll have the measurements for this on my website at plussizeinchicago.com, where you can see the exact measurements for how much you want to make. So I am making enough so that I am going to add this bang bang sauce onto the shrimp and the chicken while it is cooking in the oven, but I'm also going to divide this in half so you can use it as a dipping sauce. So once it cooks, the sauce is like marinated into the chicken and the shrimp, but you want to have some sauce on the side too so that you can dip in later. So again, once I stir all this together, I'm going to divide it. So I'm going to put half of this into a smaller bowl and put that in the refrigerator. The rest of this I'm going to add directly onto the chicken as well as the shrimp. The next thing that I'm doing is adding the chicken onto some wooden skewers. So again, like I said, I was using chicken tenderloins, but if you were using chicken breast, you basically just going to dice those chicken breasts up, and you are adding your seasonings like I had showed you earlier with the olive oil, and then you are threading it through the wooden skewers. Now these wooden skewers that I am using, I did have them soaking in some water for about 30 minutes before adding the meat onto the skewers. So that's one thing you want to make sure you're doing. When you are using wooden skewers, make sure you soak them in water for 30 minutes, or you can soak them overnight and then you thread your protein into it. If you was doing this with vegetables, you want to do the same thing. There are some skewers that are like metal that you can use, and those you do not have to soak because they are fire resistant. As I mentioned earlier, you can find the full ingredients for this recipe on my website at plussizeinchicago.com. I also have the different cooking methods that you can do while making the bang bang chicken and shrimp. So you can cook this in the oven. You also can use your grill, like an outdoor grill or even an indoor grill. You also can use an air fryer when making this recipe. So I'm going to be making this in the oven, and because I am doing shrimp and chicken, the shrimp is going to cook faster, so I'm going to add that to the oven first before adding the chicken. Also, because I'm using this cooking rack, whenever I use this and I'm cooking like a meat on there, I always cook it on one side for a certain amount of period, and then I turn it over, I flip over the meat, and then I cook it, on the other side. I even do that with bacon when I'm making in the oven. So with this, you're going to be cooking like the shrimp for like 15 minutes on one side, and you're going to flip it over and then cook it for another 15 minutes. You're going to do the same thing with the chicken breast. With the shrimp, you just want to make sure they have like a nice pink and white like color, it's done. With the chicken, you're going to know it's done. It's going to have like a little brownish to it, but you want to make sure that it has an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay friends, we're on the last part of this recipe, and this is the rice pilaf. So I have 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm adding in some shallots as well as some bell pepper. You can use whatever color you want. You can even use like white onions or red onions. You can use green bell peppers, yellow bell peppers. It's up to you. You know, this is your meal. Once this is simmering, I'm going to be adding in some mushrooms. If you do not like mushrooms, don't worry about adding it. Completely skip it. The next thing that I'm adding is some minced garlic, and I'm going to add some frozen peas, and that's just going to give it some color. While all of this is happening, in the background I am making some jasmine rice. I'm just using the instructions that's on the package, and I'm making enough for 6 servings because, you know, everything that I'm making here, there will be leftovers. So we're going to be eating this tonight, and we're going to be eating some more the next night. So when I make my jasmine rice, I always rinse it off, then I add it to the pot, and I cook it with some chicken broth. So I put at least 1 tablespoon of chicken broth to my water mixture while it's cooking. So it's adding that salt flavor to it. So I didn't need to add any more seasonings to this mixture. So you're just going to stir this all up so that all of your veggies and the butter and the minced garlic, you know, all the things are melding together. And that's really it. So it's a very quick and easy, simple side dish that you can make. And again, you add the veggies that you like to this rice pilaf. You know, it doesn't have to be one standard set of veggies. You put in what you like so that it's a nice comfort food meal for yourself. So yeah, that takes like approximately maybe 20 minutes to get everything together, and that's including making the jasmine rice too. And this is how the shrimp looks after I've taken it out the oven. It has a nice golden brown color to it, as well as the chicken breast that I've made. And like I said, you know, I have all the ingredients on my website at plussizeinchicago.com. It also has all the different cooking methods that you can use. You can make this in the oven, on the grill, or even in the air fryer. And of course, you know, it has like, oh, should you add the sauce before grilling or after grilling? All those instructions are on there. So friends, I hope you liked what I cooked in the kitchen today. Again, this recipe can be found in the video description. Very nice and simple. If there are some other recipes that you would like to check out, please continue watching my YouTube channel, subscribe so you can get those notifications. Also share these videos with your friends and family. If there is something that you like or you want to see, add a comment in the bottom of this video. I will also have some of these recipes on my website at plussizeinchicago.com, where you can see a whole bunch more, not only just my recipes, but also my travel adventures that's in the city of Chicago, checking out different restaurants, as well as checking out restaurants in other destinations around the US. And I will see you guys next time.